All right. I had to cut that one short to take a phone call. It is 1:11. I love the synchronicities. It is 1:11 on the clock, p.m. Central Standard Time. This is your time stamping queen on 825, which is the month of augmentation, of authenticity, the golden days and weeks of the year, of the month of autumn, the fall of the leaves. All the leaves are brown. Shout out to Queen Latifah for that. I just got through in the most thorough way, um, at least postponing an opportunity. Um, I was a little upset because my voice got a little raspy. I needed to clear it a few times, but I allowed him to speak and he allowed me to have the floor. And again, it was a great 10 minutes. Um, the program is about nonprofit insurance, and it's still a kind of multi level marketing strategy model. I don't want that to be a bad word either, a bad phrase. Um, each one teach one, or each one get two. Each one get eight. It doesn't matter. Man, he was willing to take my no. He gave me, again, something to consider, and I really appreciated that there are um, one-on-one, face-to-face meetings that they do have, so it doesn't have to be virtual. One thing I shared with him was that many people are touting, virtual, do it from home, do it only 5 minutes, 5 hours. I'm That doesn't attract me at all. Um, Even if that is true, and even if it is a benefit, I'm not into doing what everybody else is doing. Um, I am, I believe in focus. I believe in integration. I believe that all that I'm doing uh, can be integrated and folded in at some time, like a cake. Um, you don't start off with the eggs, but you put them in at some point. You don't start off with the vanilla, but it goes in. And the order in which they go in is very important. And what I was telling him was, um, I'm in heavy transition right now, and I had told from a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being great idea, but I'm glad to know you guys exist, but I'm not interested. To 3 being, hey, sign me up. Where do I sign, kind of thing. And I told her, my sponsor, if you will, I was a 2.5 at the time, and that had fluxed over the past couple of days. And again, I believe in giving things time to set and settle and cool off. Because if it's truly a right decision for you, a week can go by, 2 years can go by. You're going to do what it is that you've been called to do. That's my confidence in the will of God. And the will of God to me, turns around. It moves you forward. So, it may not take that long, but my point is not in time. As many people say, that time is an illusion. It's not about the amount of time, it's about what you've been called to do. The best job isn't the best job if it is not the best job for you. Making money, working only 5 hours a week, $2,000 a month, whatever, $10,000 a month, making money in your sleep. You know, there's always this mountain that someone is asking you to climb. Lose weight without exercising. Get a whole lot of money without working or with putting in little to no effort. What is this sensation to get something for nothing? And I believe it came from the Bible, the interpretation of the Bible, the misinterpretation of the Bible. God said, and boom, poof, wow, it happened. If I say go turn on the TV, someone has to turn on the TV, whether it's a program that can voice activate or whatever, or physical person, or me get up and go do it myself. There is motion of the ocean, of the winds, of the waves, and the orchestrator, the director of the symphony has a wand. And then there's, in courtrooms, there's a stenographer, there's a transcriber listening to the doctor or the clinician, whether they be male or female. It is the title, it is the power in which they hold in the title. And so we have to be the CEO, the president, as well as the scriber sometimes in our own life, the secret area, the secretary. Take a note, take a letter, and they write for us. And so when we are all one, when we are at one-ment with ourselves, we find ourselves wearing all the hats, the master and the servant, or the son or the slave, just depending on, again, where you are in attainment. And so to me, the privilege of white is a piece of paper. It's a blank slate. It's something to write on with black ink, symbolized as our blood, symbolized as the liquid expression on, again, on paper, on scroll. So I graciously turned down the opportunity for the program because, again, as I told him, I feel like something's missing. I think part of that is transparency on what it is when we start changing names, certification versus license, membership versus policy. If you're not listening clearly, if you don't see it on paper, if you don't see how things are written, you may get side swiped, bamboozled, taken for a ride by the keywords only $49.95, only, just about, it's just basically saying. These kind of words come from loose lips. It's over there by the tree, somewhere over there. I mean, that's fine in certain contexts, but it's not surgical work. It's not for those who believe in dotting every I, crossing every T, and editing from right to left in the Hebrew fashion. And I hear people, again, spreading their knowledge, their half-wit knowledge. We all read from left to right. No, we all do not. Editors read from right to left. Hebrew read from right to left. So these are the secrets that I wish to reveal, that says when you learn these secrets, there are no other secrets that you really need to know. What he or she or they are doing behind the forest, behind the brick wall, that's none of your business. Whether he is circumcised, whether she has a husband or is wearing loincloth, it doesn't matter. What matters is you're doing exactly what you believe you should be doing at any given time. And that's what I'm doing right now on this Valcast. I consider myself an undercover student on the planet of life. Overstanding, I am master of my own destiny. So I I insist on having the student, the stud enterprises, because it allows room, it allows slack in blackness. I'm not lacking as men count lackness, but I am lack, black, be lack. I be like, listening to people when they're reading from a script, when they're sharing their story. And like I said, I'm long-winded, okay? I'm appreciating learning how to condense and consolidate my viewpoint, to zero in, to hone in on the arms, the palms, black man side, white man side. So I appreciate, because just yesterday I had to text, or yeah, it was a text, instant message, direct message to a Caucasian in his program of choice. And again, I feel like I was in the field, but I wasn't in the center, the cog of my own desire and will. The beauty of my YouTube channel, or yeah, just that. The beauty of this YouTube channel is I don't have any sponsors. I don't have anyone that can disapprove my approval, my approval. I'm Val, the validator. I'm valid. I'm lucid. I'm clear on my belief system. And I believe the God in us, when we train ourselves. Think of the movie The Accountant. Excuse me. Think of the movie The Accountant, when the characters of the two brothers basically had no other sparring partner, especially once they got to be much older, when they got to be mature and perfected. Um, there is no other rivalry but a sibling. We've been given any and every counterpart and opposition known to man. There is no temptation that is not common. Black versus white, red versus white, black versus blue. This does not have to be a controversy. Man versus woman, girls against the boys, light versus dark, as if you don't need both. But when it comes down to master and servant, or master and slave, or domination and subjugation, I've decided that they have to be all in me, the oneness. No one can lay me down. I lay myself down. That's what the example of Jesus was. He said, no one takes my life, I lay it down. To me, again, this does not have to be a death in the form that has been showed us through sick illustration, deadly, gory illustration. I lay down every night. I lay me down to sleep, to rest. And I rise from my grave clothes. And I go about my day being fruitful, learning, multiplying through knowledge, eating of every tree, especially me. And so this is the part of the Matrix movie where I'm firing any outside sources of a boss, supervisor, overseer, pastor, bishop, daddy, of my life. Because otherwise you rob yourself of the ability to become the source, the source code. And so you will forever have someone that you are trying to look up to, and you end up at that point like the Christ on the cross. Why hast thou forsaken me? Why have you abandoned me? One of the last feelings that needs to be forgiven. A feeling of abandonment, a feeling of being left broken and alone, with just one L instead of all one. And so, all for one and one for all, to me, explains why we have squares and circles and pegs, and can't put a square peg in a round hole, and vice versa. For those who believe in the four corners of the universe versus those who believe in the full circle or the dome, the pyramid, all of these geometries, these metaphors on who to have close to you, what to be doing. I am the singularity. I am the tree of life. I am the tree of knowledge. I am all the trees in my garden, and I'm not allergic to myself. I'm not forbidden to myself. But again, that was the challenge. If you lack knowledge, but then if you've been banned from the tree of knowledge, a library, from being able to read or write, or more so even understand what it is that you're reading and writing, not a book to be a permanent law against man or humanity, but a book to be explored and discussed through conversation, a round table, so that all, or square, but so that all may make their point in sharing knowledge. That's what prophecy was in the church, in the place of gathering. Don't forsake assembling, coming together. And when we do that, again, we look at the alphabet, we look at the words, we look at the character of words, and we see, again, there was some things moved around because we had accomplished. Every time that you accomplish something, you graduate, you go on to another higher learning. But I'd come to my own graduation cap, my own. I know, again, no longer a man, no longer I'm taught by the angels. I'm taught by my memory. I can learn through past experiences, through the wisdom of knowledge applied. That is what wisdom is, applying knowledge. And you didn't have to be the one to lay down to get that knowledge. That's what books are for. That's what movies are for. But when I learned that every movie, even documentary, has had some kind of fault, plot, problem, says I no longer need movies. I no longer need books to teach me, because they are going to present a problem. I don't have problems. I have faith in God. I have FIG, faith in God, a fig, fruit to give the master, for me to eat on, eat from. And I can feed you as well. That's the beauty of this living tree that need not be sacrificed, that need not be cursed. The cursiveness is your signature. What are you scribing to? What are you agreeing to when someone else, a master, a teacher, a physician, pronounces you, diagnostic you, and you sign off on it? Yep, I got this. Yep, I got that. How many commercials do you see encouraging you? Hey, Go out there and do something great today. Hey, start that book. When you gonna write that story? When you gonna call your mom? It'll find you. It doesn't matter what it is, it will find you. Well, fishers of men who want you sick because it's their job to make you well, they're going to lure you with their rule book. Got a pain? Got an ache? Call me. I may have some side effects, but you don't know what your problem is. You don't know what's wrong. What if there is no wrong? What if it's grown? Ever learning, but no one showed you the knowledge of the truth. No one planted you in the right garden, the right field of study. And so I am able to surpass other people's degrees because the alphabet, the characters are in everywhere, every discipline, every space. That's the race for space. That's the race for time. So when you become the master of your race, the master of your time, the master of your mind, you no longer negate. God is not some, if you fill in the blank. Well, what is God then? If God is not that, if I know God, if I am made in God's image and likeness, it's giving you a hint without telling you exactly. The kingdom of God is inside of you. Well, where would the king be? If the kingdom is inside, where is the king? If this is the temple, where is the spirit? It's inside of me. And so I acknowledge the God in me. I acknowledge the good, the greatness, the valid, the great. You should do the same. That's what my channel is for, that I can come to you without malice, no bad ice, without needing approval. I am the approved Val. I have survived Val. I've outlived myself. Again, how do you outlive yourself? You submit to the idea, the id, the identification that you are it. I'm it. I'm time. Me it. Time. It. Me. The item. Time is an item. It is a measurement. It's still something. It's not anything that they call illusion is sick. Anything that's mal is sick. So a male, black male. These are homophones, words that sound the same, and if they sound the same, then there is a vibration. Faith comes by hearing. There is a blackmail on the black male. And so I lift and release those curses off of the black male and the black men to be free souls, to hear good news. This is good news. This is great news. Because words will only hurt us if we do not comprehend what it sounds like to our skin, to our decrees. Every time we feel a form, Every time we conform, we tick a box that says, I am number two, or I am number one, or I am AA, or I am whatever. Whatever you use, whatever you agree to. So I'm pretty much done with co-viding, co-videoing with people, persons, until I establish myself. I'm not going to be corralled along with the rest of the sheeple. All you have to do is reach out to people, do what I'm doing, do what the person did that got you to do it, and you hand them off to me. No, I don't hand off my babies. I don't hand off my fish for someone else to clean it. If I meet a person, that soul is now required of me to give them the best of myself. You ever referred somebody and let somebody else take care of them and they didn't do them right? I can't wait till further down the line. That's not who I am. Not at this juncture of my life. And so to me, it's important that we start to organically organize our nucleus, that we know who it is that we're asking to labor among us. And I can no longer hide as a sub, as a servant, without her own master. I am my own mastermind. I am my own master body. Even if I don't know exactly where my kidneys are, or my spleen is, or my appendix is, even if I didn't know, I know how to call those things into order. I command my skin, I command my soul, I command my mind to make money, to call in those readers and leaders and the audience that wants to hear plain, simple, clean, prosperous doctrine for themselves. If all I did was come on here and claim my own fameness, my own sovereignty and cash and legacy, it would be enough. My children would see these one day. My neighbor or former neighbor or future neighbor would see these, go, oh my goodness, that's Val. Yeah. Surprise. I know who I am. I knew when I met you. And I did my best to show you me and to see who you were. Who are you? What do you believe in? What is your value? Do you know how valuable you are? What's your name? What does it mean? Who named you? If it wasn't your mother or your father, did you grow up with both of them? These are the frameworks of your dream works. These are your parents, and you are the C's, or the sis, or the bro. You are the theme in the middle of the parents. And so we've come up with single parents, half a hug, or but no full ancestry line. And that's something that's birthed from royalty. And here's the beautiful part: if you don't know how to trace your, legacy or succession, if you're not into naming your children's children, then you can be adopted into your own royal family. Create your own rich mother, your own rich dad, your own rich grandfather, by way of decree. Call those things that be not as they are now. You're royalty, tailored to fit your description of your goals so that you don't feel ashamed of who you used to be. I think that's the only way to truly get the venue back. Not looking for vengeance from the Lord or anybody else. To get to the place that you are so much in love with celebrating life that you see people as for the part that they played. That's what plays are. Somebody's got to play the enemy until you no longer wish to play, until you're no longer part of the act. The masks are off, hiding behind the curtains. Tell everybody, come out, take a bow instead of a bow. So I graciously turned down another pyramid so that I could stay at the top of mine. I'm inviting you to accompany me. They say it's lonely at the top. Doesn't have to be. Join me at the top of your pyramid, the top of your eye. Yeah. Whatever way you shape your camera, you are center stage. Why would you play co-star to anybody else? They need to know that you have stepped down to be equal. That's a conversation right there. After the I am Valerie. That's my name. That's that I am. I am Angeline. I am messenger. That I am. I am God's peace. I am the son of God's peace. I am the father of God's peace. That's what I am. I am rich. I am gold. I am silver. I am rubies. I am precious. I am time. I am a gift. That's what I am. And I'm nice to meet you. I am pleased to meet you. I am gracious to meet you. From there, again, the two as a goal instead of the two at a head to head. I am the first with the whole brain. And then when I meet someone else, I see them as my equal. And then we can put our heads together and make something happen. Now, again, if they think that, oh, she's a woman, oh, she's black, oh, she's little, she's tiny, she's so cute, she's so innocent, that must mean I am the bigger person. That means I am at the advantage. If that's what you think, so you don't think that. I'm not going to put you higher than I'm not going to put me higher than you. I'm not going to ask for your time. That's up to you to give if these messages are of value to you. I'm the Val part. You've got to decide if you want to keep putting people ahead of you. And we got our president, and he's done this for 43 years, and he's been in the business for. I don't care. I've been on the planet 50 million times. Who can disprove it? This is my first time. Who can disprove it? When we put anyone else, oh no, she's not. Oh no, he didn't. If they're making you this, if they're putting a cap on you, it's time out. It is now time for you to become the ultraviolet ray in your life. Shine the purple light, shine the crystal light, shine something so that you can get some Z's, so you can get your bread. We are the richest planet. We are the richest plan. We don't need another program, good, bad, or indifferent. We don't need another script. You know when something feels right, you know when it doesn't. And some people need to get the holy machete and start cutting some foolishness out of their lives. Either you're on top or you're not. Either you're equal, and the equal mean we both die to our egotistical ways so that we can get a bottom line. A bottom line up front is a bluff without the extra F. And so I call your bluff. Anybody that would come at me as if I'm not the I from me. I'm here to give confidence to everyone that could use it. No puff, no fluff. But start calling people on their BS. I'll tag this along the end of this particular Valcast. T. Vincent Simmons, go check them out. Do a search on Google, see if you can get them from Google search. If not, go to YouTube directly. But it's important not always to give links. It's links are slinky. You want to balance out your algorithms. The more we search for something, the more it'll start to rise to the top. So T. Vincent Simmons, see if you can find him. He's got a church. I don't know the new name of the or the current name of the church. Here we go. I can work with you in general. I'm not talking to Vince, but Vince, I am convinced, I am of venue that again, he's been called for such a time as this. We are called to validate each other. We're called to say, hey, this is who I am, these are my credentials, and so I approve of this message, I approve of this person in this context. And he is one that I've listened to more recently with a new set of ears, with a golden set of auditories, to realize just how much passion he has for souls, black people, brown people, souls in general, but specifically his own color. And that's the way it has to happen. We start at home. I start with female. I start with mothers. I start with those who are in their golden years. Why? Because that's exactly where I'm at. And so I want to physically meet people, pull things down out of this virtual reality. We've come full circle now. I've touched the hem of the garment. I have pulled down virtue. It is time to embrace people once again and not have so many phobias. So I'm here to help with that as well. If you have a phobia, that's a big one for me. If you have a phobia that you would like to start to gently or radically eradicate, I'll put some information below. I want you to get to know me. I want to get to know you. I want you to understand who you are, understand what you've been internalizing. Someone has created you as their enemy. And if you don't see them for who they are, then you internalize the enemy for yourself. So Any, many, miny, money. My money, my investment, my life, my who, my am is my best value. These are my commercials. This is my commerce. This is unscripted by man's terms, but I believe everything is written in heaven. I believe everything is documented in our very own DNA. If there was such a thing as a black box, I believe it would be our pineal gland or our heart. It would be our spirit. It would be our light that still has weight to it, volume, mass, substance. These clothes matter. This physical flesh, it does matter. Not just the soul of a man or woman. And so to take the book that has been written, inspired by God, we've been told, greatest book of all time, it is not the greatest until we all get it. The ahas, the gotchas. This is a book that's been used in schools, churches, courtrooms alike. It would make sense. It would make dollars for someone to come along and straighten it out line by line. Heaven and earth, not heavens. Heaven and earth. God created. Genesis 1. Excuse me. So that's it for now. GoAskVal. That's my Cashapp $. GoAskVal. Here to help you get rid of your phobias. Here to make sure that you attain your worth. Bare minimum basic net worth is your weight in gold. It's a metaphor, but it's worth repeating as a goal, whether in millions, billions, or trillions. It's up to you, my audience, my individual. This is not about your children, not about your daddy, not about your mama. This is about you. This is about me. This is my intention for the 7.9 billion people on the planet. My birthday is 7.9, July the 9th. I approve of this message with no need for sponsors. The truth is in me. The truth is around me. You are the truth. It takes us together. It takes you sharing. It takes you coming out of your pocket, your field of study, sowing into my field. You can transcend fields of study if you choose to look at the very basic alphabet of the English language and understand it, not just sentencing, but words and character, line upon line, stanza upon stanza. I'm here to do that. I'm here to have fun doing it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for investing your time. This channel will be here without you. But I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad you found it worthy. You found me worthy of 35, 45 minutes. Until I do it again, I'll see you on the other side. Take care.